All right, today we're going to dive into project outlines a little bit deeper in the Web3 gaming space, and this will be with Ultra. I think you guys will like it. If you're following Web3 gaming, this is a good one for you. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. Joining me today is Nicolas Gilot, who is the CEO over at Ultra. Great to have you back on.
Hey, Paul. Nice to be back on as well. It's been a while, like 2 years.
It has been a
like
while.
crazy.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Nice
I was
being on the
looking
show
at,
again.
yeah, I was looking at our YouTube channel and I saw this, and there you are, right there. 2 years ago. 2 years ago. So wow,
Oh,
your beard was a little thicker though. So
yeah,
about
getting
the only
younger,
thing.
right?
Well, probably
I
less gray
wish.
hairs. The whole thing comes into play after this bear market for sure. So anyway,
Uh,
give us an update of what's going on over at Ultra.
no, basically about Ultra. So we've been heavily developing for the past years. Indeed, the beer market is not the time where you do the most marketing, but the time where you build a lot. And so basically, we did launch several products to be actually ready for the full blown out marketing. And we had, I don't know if you recall, Ultra Games, so which is really our game distribution platform. This one has been live from this year, which is basically offering, um, tokenized games. So anytime anybody buy a game, basically it's directly NFT, which means it opens gate to so many new opportunities. I can dive into that. Outside of this, we had the marketplace that went live. So anything you would ever dream to trade, purchase, typical NFT marketplace, but with a gaming angle. And an Ultra Arena got released as well this year.
Good.
That's also a very big one. So we'd love to
Well, we'll get
explain
a chance to
further about
break
this
all
as well.
those down for sure. I want to get into all that. Let's talk a little bit about gaming in general and what's been happening within the market. Crypto and NFT games are still launching on Steam. So despite their ban, this is a Steam ban on the market as a whole. When you look at that, first of all, what are your thoughts on that and the potential growth for Web3 gaming with these kind of challenges in front of it right now? Where do you guys see this going?
I would say, from their perspective, to be frank, it just makes a lot of sense. It's a bit sad to say, but it just makes sense. They have a set amount of users. They have most of the gamers today on PC, which means they can monetize them the way they want and they can. They cannot monetize the users with blockchain games today because it's not tied to a specific blockchain who has, the potential to transfer part of this revenue to Steam. So why would they cannibalize their revenue, right? So that's a bit, I think, what's happening with Steam. I understand then that they don't want to have especially Web3 games today. So people are forced to sort of carve a solution around it. No, but definitely you can see that Epic, for example, let people come in. It's really Steam because they're market leader, and you go as far as you can as long as it works. That's what
Right.
usually you do when you're in a dominant position, and that's what they are doing. So the day there is a shift, and you can see really Web3 picking up, they will be forced to be part of it as well. Otherwise, they will lose on revenue because the revenue that were going to
Exactly.
Web2 initially will go
Yeah.
partially to Web3, and they're gonna miss on that.
When you think about growth and what the opportunity is here, mobile gaming continuing to grow, we're seeing a little bit more adoption in play and earn, which I think is also going to be a new window into kind of the next generation here in gaming overall. When you look at just the marketplace, talk to me about what you guys have seen in terms of growth. Obviously new games onboarding, but also where you see this going maybe in the next year or two.
No, fair enough. I would say mobile indeed is and always will be growing because there is it's much easier to access. Now the hardcore players are usually on PC, which is also a growing segment, and you can always do more usually with a PC. So when you're looking at innovation, you can innovate more on a PC than on a mobile because you have way less restrictions. That's why you see a lot of Web3 games based on PC initially because that's where you can actually do things before you're blocked in a sort of closed ecosystem. Here, what's happening is also as Ultra as an ecosystem, we start to grow because we start to have this ecosystem feeling as well. So initially we had the wallet, then we launched the marketplace, then the game store, then Arena. So we sort of have this full ecosystem play now And that's really what brings value to the users. So you can see that they come for one reason. Say they come to play a game because there's a big discount on the game initially, or they come to play a tournament. And we can see basically 90% of those players are also using different aspects of the ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very critical for us because that's what shows a lot of value. And that's what we will be pushing here in the coming years as well, is keep on expanding its ecosystem with new applications, new services, but also new content. So I don't know if you recall, but also we spoke a while back about the fact we are working on exclusive games. Oh, actually, there is now some videos you can look online as well. The very
Yeah.
first gameplay trailers is, I would say, the a quick glimpse. There is many things we want to show about the game, but also about what's the how to say what's the game elements around the Web3 as well, because you have like a really cool gameplay when you shoot people like typical, but it has to be really well done. But also we have a full element of Web3, which is much more about
Right.
managing what's happening around the game. And that the blockchain element comes into play, where basically you can benefit from it, but also you can control it in some way. I can't go into too many details today because a lot is still unveiled.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
Okay.
team behind it is stellar. Activision Blizzard,
Right.
you have people from Ubisoft, you have people from CD Projekt, so all the top studios making FPS games as well.
Yeah, we're seeing some fantastic graphics here, of course, on screen. When you look at tradable games in general, is this profitable for the studio overall? What has been, and I guess where do you guys see the potential growth here for Ultra?
So you have the tradability, which is one aspect. So this is a very new model. The big advantage with how we designed it is at the protocol level, so which means anybody can benefit from it, whether you are influencer, whether you're just a player, whatever you would be doing, you can be part of this. In a sense, when you buy this game, initially you just play it or you never play it and you just sit in your library forever. But actually, with Ultra, you can actually resell that game down the line to somebody else. And this has value for the publisher because they can set their own terms. They can say, hey, this game, I'm going to get 30% of the revenue when you're going to resell it. So they can sort of tweak that and make it a viable business. So in terms of numbers, it's very new because we just announced the first tradable game like weeks ago, which means we don't have set data yet. But in terms of interest, there's a big interest from the various publishers. But there's a
Yeah.
big future, I think, in this, not only on the tradability, but the tokenization aspect is really, I think, what sets the technology apart and the possibilities.
Right.
I can dive into
Lots
that.
of upside. Yeah, definitely could be some upside here for this. And of course, with that, you're going to need devs. And obviously, I know you guys have your distribution program. And with that being, because what is it, 15%? I was looking here on yeah, 50%. From a distribution standpoint, within that, first of all, how has been the response from devs around just distribution, understanding how this works, seeing the opportunity here? What has been kind of the feedback that you guys have seen from market?
In terms of publishers, so how does it work? Is basically some are very big, so they don't really need extra support. So usually
Right.
it costs some level of money to get their game on board.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we haven't been doing so far. And what we've been doing is basically work with studios that need some support. And the fact they need some support, they can really see how much we provide to them. Like we do lots of marketing activities with
Mm-hmm.
them. We do a lot of basically early access, new solution that they don't have today that we provide to them. And that's basically why they're excited to work with us, because they don't get this sort of tailored experience once they
Right.
are working with Steam, for example, like you're a number, right? But here we can provide them with some new solutions to help them get traction, like organize a big tournament around the game launch, for example, or having some PFPs that are distributed to people beforehand. So there's many ways we can actually help them to get visibility. And that's what's highly appreciated by our
Yeah, I think,
publishers.
definitely more of a boutique experience for devs. So yeah, I could see that being a big value to them. Talk about the marketplace, because you look at marketplaces and the interoperability scenario that is starting to play out, whether you go into OpenSea or Magic Eden, the opportunity of in-game assets are real. Tell me a little bit about your strategy, what you guys are trying to do.
So this boils down also to the technology we developed. So we have our own layer 1 technology, but also our own NFT standard. And the way we design it is in such a way that there is a shared inventory across all marketplaces. You don't even need to be a marketplace to put an item on sale, which means we can easily collaborate with an OpenSea, with Blur, with whatever marketplace are out there, Atomic Hub or whatnot. And they can promote our content without having to do any sort of work with us. They just simply use our technology. They can display the content of all the users that have something on sale somewhere, which means at a split second you put your NFT on sale, everybody worldwide can sell it for you and earn a commission out of that by the blockchain. So you don't even need to trust somebody. All of a sudden, all marketplaces can benefit from our inventory. And as a player, everybody, you're much more happy if everybody can see your NFT and has access
definitely
to
a different strategy for sure. Okay, all right. I like those kind of advancements. Do you feel like, obviously you guys have been building a lot in the downtime here, many games, obviously you guys have been able to stick around and kind of see where the future is going to be going. Let's go into Ultra Arena, because I know there's a lot that applies to Ultra Arena and also your phygital. And I was watching or looked a little bit there on what you guys are doing with physical and digital assets. I think it was a gaming chair. Explain how that and Arena starts to connect the dots for you guys.
So Arena is one of the applications within and outside of the ecosystem. So you can access it within the client, you can access it from the web directly. The idea is that it's a sort of next generation esport platform that allows you to go from amateur to professional. So we tap really into the entire gaming space, not just the 0.1% of the top players. That's a big untapped market that we focus on with Ultra Arena. One of the ways we do that is that every reward is actually tokenized, which means we can tokenize digital assets. Like today, you can see a virtual item, like a sword from a game, but it can also totally be a physical item. That's the case with the chair you mentioned. So if you think about it, you win a tournament, you want a chair. Do I need a chair? I'm good, I have one. But actually, if you send it to me to my home, what am I going to do with it? Put it on, somewhere to reset it? Yeah, sure. Here, the fact that I receive a tokenized chair, I can actually resell it to anybody globally. So anybody who wants a chair, they can buy it from the marketplace. And as the organizer of this tournament, so I'm, say, a brand, take Razer, I put this chair as a prize. If anybody is actually reselling it to somebody else, I make my commission as well. So which means I do my marketing, I do big tournaments, and I can generate some revenue back with the rewards I'm providing to the players. So it can be a very rare sword as well for a game or a gun in Counter-Strike. And every time it's resold, you actually get some revenue. So you can reinvest that in more marketing, getting bigger and bigger, more tournaments. You get the idea. So that's one of the big, I think, advantage that you have with tokenized rewards. And the fact is also instant. You don't need to wait to receive something. You won the tournament, you get your rewards, you do whatever you want with it right away.
Yeah, and I think that creates quite a bit of loyalty, when you think about just the ecosystem of gamers and what they're looking to do. So I would agree. It's a good strategy. So definitely going in that direction. Okay, so talk to me about your blockchain, because I was a little confused as to how and what your strategy is around your blockchain and how that works in comparison to, say, other game projects who are typically on other layer 1s or layer 2s out there within the marketplace. Kind of explain the difference of what Ultra is doing.
Yeah, in terms of the blockchain itself, so when we started Ultra, we were not planning to do a blockchain. We were planning to do this new ecosystem for the games industry, but we quickly realized that there is no blockchain that allows you to do that in a proper way, in a seamless way for the players. So we went on this journey to create our own blockchain solution. So initially, took an EOS-IO stack, which was the most performant blockchain out there. I think still is today. And we heavily modified it to the need of the mass market. So we removed all the complexity of creating an account, the zero transaction fees, is a C++ language. So anything you need to actually be mass market.
Okay.
And that's basically why we had to go that direction. And when you join to the Ultra, by default, you have a wallet, you have your account, you don't even know you have it, but still, it's part of the experience. And you don't have to write down a passphrase of 24 words or
Right.
whatever. But you still own your keys, so the keys are on your computer as well.
Yeah.
So there is something we had to develop to be able to cater to the games industry. And also the fact you have zero fees for the gas. So which means if you're playing a game and all of a sudden, you kill a big monster, there's a weapon dropping on the floor. Oh, sorry, I don't have gas. I cannot pick it up. Sorry, what?
Let's talk a little bit about your roadmap here before we let you go. There's three major areas that we've seen pretty significant growth over this, I would say last year. SocialFi has been a big component that we've seen a lot of engagement within games. Mobile, maybe an ultra mobile app, and then AR VR. Of those three, in a roadmap scenario for Ultra, is there anything that kind of hits for you guys over the next couple of years in terms of development or just in terms of how you want to go to market?
I would say for the mobile aspect is definitely something that we aim for at Ultra, in a sense that we already have a Chrome extension, it's usable. There is not a big leap towards having, there's not a lot of work to be doing to have a mobile version of that. But at the same time, the core focus is PC. Why? Mobile gaming is a very big market, very competitive. Whether PC gaming is more hardcore and harder to get into. And since we're already into it and we know really well the market, it's much more leverage, much more, I would say, potential. And for the SocialFi, so that's something at Ultra that we also have on a roadmap that we will be doing in a very different way than what's out there. But we also believe there is a big room for improvement from what you see out there today. We already have some plans for that. And then the fact you can see SocialFi picking up is not odd. I mean, just make a lot of sense. And definitely you will be able to see something coming from us. The grand scheme of things, the social element of the ecosystem would be quite important.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad to see that you guys are moving in that direction. So as far as virtual reality, utilizing, whether you think about side loading some things that we've seen before of how some metaverse projects and other games are looking at, being able to get into the craze around what's happening within the MetaQuest. Any plans going in that direction as opposed to just sticking in the PC lane?
I definitely think VR has some great potential, but there's still some, physical issues that you would, I think, have for a very long time with VR. Whether AR might have a lot of traction in the future, because AR can be used for so many aspects of our lives. VR sort of corners you into an experience when AR expand what you live today. So you can go in a shop having your AR glasses and something else happen that wouldn't happen elsewhere. On the VR side, you sort of enter a world, you have a great experience, you come out of this world and your life continues. So it's to me two different approach.
It really is. I mean, one's passive versus immersive in terms of the technology. I just see I feel like we're going to see, opportunities in both of these for sure. Well, this sounds good, Nicolas. It's good to get an update from you guys. Sounds like you guys are on to some big things over at Ultra. So we'll keep an eye on movement, and I'm really watching the number of games that you guys on board. I'm intrigued with that, so we'll continue to check that out for sure. But we appreciate you coming in today. Thanks for stopping in.
Thanks so much, Paul.
All right, so you guys maybe are tuned in over on the podcast side of things right now. First thing I would do, anytime we're doing a Web3 or gaming episode, you've got to get over here to the YouTube channel, because this is where you're going to get a chance to see all this stuff and really kind of understand it, because this is whether you're investing in you're playing games or whatever your strategy is in crypto or blockchain. At least come over to the channel, subscribe, hit a few likes. It will help you get a few more videos in your feed and obviously the algorithm. And make sure and do that, because I think that's the first step in maybe your journey to blockchain. Also, if you're not following me on X, make sure and do that. It's just @PaulBaron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.